Welcome back to Unveiling Buddhism. This is episode 55, and today we are exploring a very important part of the path, right effort. The Noble Eightfold Path is the way to attain nirvana, or ultimate happiness. It's not just something to memorize but to live. And to live it, we need effort. Without effort, even the most profound teachings stay lifeless. Right effort turns intention into transformation. Let's be honest, this path is not second nature for most of us. It takes energy, persistence, and wisdom to adopt new habits and ways of thinking. For example, we need effort to remind ourselves that craving leads to unhappiness. In this episode, we'll explore what right effort really means, both in theory and in daily life, like in the story of Venerable Sona, who discovered that even effort can go wrong. But first, what is effort? What makes it right? And how can we apply it in our hectic modern lives? Let's find out. In the Magga Vibhagan Sutta, the Buddha gave a clear and practical explanation of what right effort really means. What is effort? Buddha described it as a process that involves generating a sincere desire to grow, doing our best to move toward that goal, staying committed and not getting sidetracked, maintaining a clear and steady intention. That intention matters. In Buddhism, our goal is to reach ultimate happiness. The Buddha taught that craving is a root cause of suffering. So our effort should aim to let go of craving, not chase it in new forms. But we often get distracted. A common example is putting too much focus on rituals and ceremonies. Some pour their energy into chanting words they don't understand or performing rituals without knowing their meaning. While these practices have value, they should not replace the real work, transforming the mind. Distractions like this pull us away from the heart of the path. Right effort reminds us to stay focused, not just on doing something Buddhist, but on actually reducing suffering by uprooting craving and attachment. The Buddha also outlined 4 kinds of effort we should develop. Prevent unwholesome states not yet arisen. Abandon unwholesome states already arisen. Develop wholesome states not yet arisen. Maintain and fully cultivate wholesome states already arisen. Let's break these down. First, prevent unwholesome states not yet arisen. This means guarding our thoughts, speech, and actions before trouble starts. For example, not allowing anger or envy to take root in our minds, resisting laziness or apathy, avoiding shortcuts that compromise our integrity. Second, abandon unwholesome states already arisen. Sometimes we've already slipped into irritation, craving, or harmful habits. Right effort means working to let go of these, not by force, but through understanding, patience, and steady attention. For example, if we like to complain about situations in life without any real actions to improve it. Third, develop wholesome states not yet arisen. Maybe we've never practiced patience, loving kindness, or right speech. Right efforts is about making space for these to grow, like planting seeds and caring for them. Fourth, maintain and cultivate wholesome states already arisen. Once we've developed positive qualities like mindfulness, generosity, or compassion, we shouldn't take them for granted. We nourish them, strengthen them, let them become a natural part of who we are. Effort in this context isn't about being tense or aggressive. It starts with a gentle enthusiasm for growth, a wholesome desire to become freer, kinder, more awake, and then we stick with it, even when it gets slow or messy. Right effort is methodical, it's steady, it's personal. Here's a simple reflection for you. What goals do you have, spiritually or even in daily life? Can you think of one unwholesome habit you'd like to gently let go of, and one wholesome state you'd like to grow? It could be something small, like giving less energy to self-criticism or making a habit of checking in with your emotions once a day, or even to stop snacking during Netflix. These small shifts are where right effort begins. Use a diary or journal, make a plan, track your progress. That's how practical and grounded Buddhism can be. Next, let's look at the story that illustrates what wrong effort can look like. Sona was the son of a wealthy merchant who chose to leave his life of comfort to become a monk. Deeply committed, he secluded himself in the forest and practiced meditation with immense intensity. He poured every ounce of energy into his walking meditation, so much so that his feet became wounded and bloody. But despite all his effort, Sona saw no results, no calm, no insight, nothing. Eventually, he grew discouraged. He began to reflect.
I've given everything I have, yet I'm still not enlightened. Maybe I should give this up, go home, enjoy my wealth, and do good by practicing charity instead.
At that moment, the Buddha appeared before him, not with scolding, but with a gentle question. The Buddha reminded Sona of his past as a skilled veena player, a musician who played a stringed instrument.
Tell me, Sona, what happens if the strings of your veena are too tight?
They snap, blessed one.
And what if they're too loose?
They make no sound.
Then how do you tune it to play well?
With balance, neither too tight nor too loose.
With this analogy, the Buddha gave a profound teaching. Just as music arises from balanced tension, so too does progress on the spiritual path arise from balanced effort. Not too forceful, not too slack. Inspired by this wisdom, Sona adjusted his approach. He moderated his effort, continued his practice with steadiness and mindfulness, and eventually he attained nirvana. This story reminds us that extreme effort is also wrong effort. Whether our goal is spiritual or mundane, pushing ourselves to the brink, physically, emotionally, or mentally, is not sustainable or skillful. Right effort does not mean grinding ourselves down. For example, some people may decide to skip sleep in order to meditate more. Thinking is a sign of dedication, but if your body needs rest and you override it, that's not right effort. It's self-harm in disguise. Effort must be wise, not just intense. That's what it makes it right. So, what's the takeaway from Sona's story? A balanced approach to practice is essential. Effort that's too harsh can backfire, while effort that's too lax leads nowhere. And here's the important part. Balance is not a fixed point. It's personal and it changes over time. Think of it like exercise. For a beginner, jogging for 15 minutes might be the perfect amount of effort. But as their fitness grows, that balance might shift to 30 minutes of running. The same applies to our spiritual growth. What's balanced today might look different a year from now. That's why we should not compare ourselves to others or set unrealistic standards. Someone else's pace, schedule, or capacity is not your path. Right effort means being honest with yourself and finding your own middle way, then sticking to it, gently, patiently, persistently. Many people, especially those new to the Dharma, become very enthusiastic after learning about compassion and the suffering of sentient beings. That enthusiasm is beautiful, but without wisdom, it can tip into extremes. Some start feeling unnecessary guilt whenever they eat well, thinking of the hungry ghosts or the suffering of others. Others take the bodhisattva vows and feel devastated whenever they cannot help someone, even when it's clearly beyond their ability. Some force themselves to sit in meditation for long hours, even when their minds are not ready. Instead of calm and insight, they end up agitated, exhausted, or disheartened. That's just another version of Sona's bleeding feet. Intentions are noble, but effort must be wise. Right effort is necessary for success in life, regardless of our goal, be it growing our business, studying for a degree, or attaining nirvana. Once you truly practice and understand how the Noble Eightfold Path works, you will discover that it is a success formula for all wholesome aspirations. Hope you find this episode useful and practical. See ya!